what is your money? It's how you are using the money. Young Koso. Again, also because I want and IMF from study most contracts now my as of December 2020 na project be bromunye. But according to Atofos and these 24 projects dear, omni IMF akase we dear a priority. And the reason why I do this analysis is because 3 months down the line, me be drama me fact checking role now. One can't tell me time on Dramani Mahama. Come a catch us our journalists, our fidelity is to the facts. Sure. This is your budget. Akwa Kumasi yedi e woman any. Or say, omo Kumasi roads and drainage extensions. Akwa mebusa omo ye what appendix now. Omo breaking it down. I'll get it for you next week. Okay. And to Kumasi me share mu na yedi e woman ni again. Mishema Kumasi Central Market Phase 2. President Mahama actually promised that by the end of 2026, grow from Mamponting Kumasi Market Phase 2 no tune for back with Chasum. Takwa by December 2026, Mesaka After Fitaya Bedraha, near Chasuma. This is the numbers.
TB scorecard, no.
Akokwa again, Tibro from say 13, what kind of say modernization of Confornoti Teaching Hospital. Live to be a Neduma Confornoti, is a Musa Yaduma.
Yeah.
Cat lab omuni bindu ete musa yadwuma chakokwa Kumasi yedi e omuni o see Kumasi Central Market Phase 2 modernization of Confornoti Teaching Hospital and then Kumasi roads and drainage.
Okay,
akwa
enye bad
it's chef from audio no recorded video no so recorded and no akokwa enko so owie and a big push, you know. Almost a big push in a creative fund. In fact, in this budget, government in the committee 14 billion cedis to support the big push. Mitie, young board no some tried them. Mitie PMS friends. So some cars say, "Once I buy and the target wire for revenue na kokwa, 223.8 billion cedis." Atofos and says, "Sikawe na buy pesa wonya 223.8 billion cedis." GRA sika obejiji ni bibia 223.8 billion. Se ebi brusua sika ebe brusu bia no the back ka 14 billion cedis na we twa to for big push no.
Okay,
what you say? Big push in 2025 your budget the 14 billion e koshim sika ebe brusu bia from your revenue target no the back ka ho project ben no the back kwa 2025 list na ba nyom de be ya no Kumasi ye dia ewum eni enfa na Kumasi de e kwa ho anu akan. Oh, I found my news is here.
Fakosro kakra.
Okay.
Now for you, sir.
Okay. Yes, construction of Kumasi Outer Ring Road.
Yeah.
I hope one say Makato say Quanway, your friend N6 highway. It's a Trans-African route. I could be do just what 30 panel. Can see a pair ring road where the be for one neighbor I could peer Techima baby, swami baby. Sir, and I found the ring road. And no more.
Okay.
Under the big push. The cock will do me a make sure say Saka will know ring road me the minister the ring road. I will not say I know it. But I cook with babies as my and also now cook additional dear what big push and I idea and I'm them. Kwakwa music Quanway pa. Ombeye Akre Kumasi Expressway. Now the clarity is here. Who's a prayer could for the started 4 bypasses. Akwa sa kwan na ye no entirely different from expressway no. What's I mean why is picture na nim say ofori benyama me akọ Mombasa omo expressway o Kenya. The difference is that Kumasi Accra Kumasi expressway different from the current road I want. Akwa enti sir what I say Who's here wo Accra Kumasi kwan bypasses na there. Near present mama entirely different.
Okay.
Aqua permit checks and maintenance feasibility studies are started. They will finish in September. It will run like the Mombasa Expressway. Correct, must be to 1 city away, but you have to be about 10-15 cities. It's a PPP project. That is my understanding. Those are the just a mini confirmation of it. But many confirmation is an entirely different project also under the big push. Now, the next one, Ayo Fanko, Obi Okwa Caribbean and saying, who's a difficult. And also no aban so beto aso swami interchange sika na yakwaje wa Afri Exim Bank na ye yes you know akokwa sika no ye dani bi ye nyine nim latter part of MPP number started swami interchange we all know after 7 years these are public facts aban say obepe sika under the big push no e dey ato aso me yi Kumasi dey home tina so let's do that now akokwa the next one no e ya dey we COVID levy 120-day promise in the woman say President Mahama.Eps2 obrichi when ni so ochayi levy ocha emission levy ocha betting tax mu atofo sin be explain here in March say is because I am part of the VAT system no but the solution is that I say about be drafting a new VAT bill.
Right.
Your current VAT law near one. I de be entokwasi traders and omo be trophy for kra. No mo trophy for present 2026 budget no in October 2025. We say present new year budget no in the current year no. E wo en obey COVID levy no e de afrim.
Okay. So we are no 2026.
Into October 2025
or be present.
Or with the budget now I expect him to abolish the COVID levy. That is 1st January 2026.
So it will take effect next year,
yes.
January.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, 9 people before so are buying spending, it's in a city na ye, buying spending, it's in a city na ye. At 2 forces and your more can and no credit. Or buying with just $700 million as zero bond payment. 10 billion domestic bond holders a year almost 6 months at chance what you be. Or say 2.9 billion. I call when the DCs them now for me, 3 DCs. I can confirm to you, say first quarter of District Assembly Common Fund is the biggest they've received in the last 20 years.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Jumano.
Yes.
Yeah, the Abreu Momunya Jumano.
Yes. Akokwa 9.1 billion energy sector. Adie we kai me. Some no bear research on.
Right.
Number 4. Yes, you buy extensive research on that kai me. We to 5 billion arrears, we to 2.9 billion get fund, we to 1 billion free SHS, we to 2.7 billion NHIS, we to 1.4 billion national health insurance, we to 252 million for vaccines, we to 72 million capitation grant, we to school feeding, 477 million for LEAP school feeding here 895 million. Akokwa we to you see, because of politics, I don't get a gamma. I 17. 369.9 million nursing and teacher training allowance. There's no scientific data to support this payment. I bet here because of what? Political expediency. That'll be a debate for another day. But what? Unso man we am before. Unso contract to see into your car. You know what has happened? Okay, na chase come away you me. Nyema bi say ya. Atofo sen buy no so on audit service no. E&Y NSN Young and a PwC Price Waterhouse. So monye cause akokwa ye road sector no arrears no. Na ye 68.7 billion.
Okay.
E kaya de. Omo ye audit no so far auditor general ye 87% of the audit. Atofo sen HR 13 billion that was a DCS code between contractors. Can I say you try ye Kenya? So far permit checks what we have 5 billion, 8 billion at that. It's because the Auditor General has audited 87% of the audit. Anna, what me have validated 28.3 billion. Who's why you auditing one validate 20 na 248 5 billion. Na kokwa ne course so say there are about 3.6 billion documents to am dey double invoicing. You try card no sound document na ba see you try card e bi so a document nya papa. In fact you were 562.6 million and no dey was any document be accurate support so why contract am ban
and obediska.
Yes. And I go on into other thing important, so it's also not entirely accurate so into your contract sika. The reason is that Osei obetuan in tranches. This year the budget was 13 billion to pay. You validated 28.3 billion, but you have 5 billion. I got 8 billion at that hole. And another news about this is say I was the contractor. Every single contract will be in cedis.
Right.
Not dollars.
Also companies no so be charge in cedis.
Yes.
Unless approval from Bank of Ghana.
Yes.
And I think that the right path to go.
And now so contract no.
Yeah.
Say senior kwakwa na contractor no na dey value ni bibia ba o. Ministry of Roads na so be an assessment.
Obe value.
No mo dey value. Ti akokwa no so no.
Right.
Now adeba akokwa me dem dream say based on my history and everything, this will be my only reservation about this budget.
Okay.
I'm disappointed just still you're recording ghost names. 14,000 ghosts. In fact, Akokwa, Auditor General audit payroll, why just 91% of the audit so far.
Yeah.
Nyoma huni say Ghana banya to 150.4 million amankrofobia mun deserve salary. So wo wa retire we je adwuma or you terminating the contract but still the salary go to the tune of 154 million. akokwa ana ghost names o ma identify nipa 14,000 bi a e wo so akokwa sa de we me submit to government so ma ehwe sa de we so na create
yeah and me say controller and accountant general department one me nim so betimi am say NIB fo ni bio BNI for ya former they should be there because obi onom kra no ma bi wo ho a ebe appear in the pay slip so ebi wo kra wonye na adwen so wo join eku bi bo si aten ma kohye ku nim na wasa akọ correct time o de be yes ad ni nyina sika no obi fu itimi delay ni sika ni aden so ebeba no de yes wo nya arrears ni ade intimi man no maybe cause why sometimes you realize and you see say nipa bi ehhehye ho a omudi dwuma ensem fata I believe say aban man ani ko ho ebeboa or when any controller and accountant.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And Jacob was going forward, you know. To say monthly period validation. I will come about multimedia. This will be November will be my 5 years as a full staff.
Also better than validation.
Monthly be a.
Now say validation the omoyen.
I quite remember one. 3 years as a full staff. Salary mamuno soda. It should be a mother.
A bit minyando.
It's either na bank one the BAC. I quite me say ghost names and me you say to today. We chef and comment. Me some politicians and
they create it.
And toss that's my submission. I go we no born and one baso ya father ya tete so near there. But the time with me this year. Let me do just quickly about 7 minutes for 40 on the MPP.
Nanka me pese ekebe next week.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Because we business chef and to acquire maybe. Mama 5 minutes.
Primaries.
Mama 5 minutes and coming. Mama 5 minutes. Mama 5 minutes. I meet me.
Ebo so there.
They meet me. I was last week Saturday. Was on a part the little post no. Mama starting the summer. Have you seen it?
Enra meet any interview.
Say ko pictures no ko post here. Say ni see. Unsa na put John why say. For video no to me so. Unsa na put John why say. And about me so kasa. Bedu Canada Japan there so no secure man for pajamas. No man for say the pictorial analysis of the picture na. As a napo pictures no post here. I say on declare the about cooking. And then 1957 the credit channel na po exclusive. Also on class say on Facebook ho. WhatsApp no. Ni team no ko post here. To ma delete. Also free Canadians we ja.
So ma delete.
Man so ne Kennedy am afon tiase e bra na Kennedy ye bo che e wo Ghana gas na na ji minister no na po o kai Kennedy as mo be kan so mo mfa na po mo nya campaign they have a very strong relationship temi okọ enya mo anwa me no wadi nkomo bi a kire nya na ye be kan inte be ne sa na kwa the MPP enya about 300 over 300 proposals we take ojo pon kroma and they bridge it into 56 motions. Omo koye no 54 survive 2 ye rejected 2 ne rejected ye say police station for no so omo ntia say regional for no e may any other people to supervise the elections again MPP say wo hwe ewiase nyina ye define youth say 15 to 35 and go mu do omo national youth organizer age ne ba 35 omo so omo ntia say akokwa Frank Davis can be 4 times omo so omo ntia say 49 go wonu mze nkrofo akoi cheze matete ye nua Clement Poku Jemfi obekọ
it's no person with about 35.
Yes.
And almost so much.
40. Yes. I think that senior me say mistake. I have 40 right currently. Yeah, 40 years.
Former communications, senior communications member.
That's
your former communication.
Former parliamentary candidate. Any mood.
Former
it's 40 years. Yes. Now come about 35.
It's now come about 35.
But I think say the reason why they shorted that made sense. So I'm on show intentions.
Right.
2 years I may not be fair. Say me mama confirm me. You know, me am Clement Poku Jemfi ko. On am support no.
Onora o bezin.
Oh, Clement Bell 36, 37.
Oh, okay.
I take Yakubu, former PA to Sameju, some year who matters over back. And Obiabe did the picture.
Any 35, no, it's like a fan crop.
Aha, Obiabe did the picture, so the Banga, come in your baby, you may see.
Right.
Sometimes. Almost sad delegate cancer in the Thomas. I can't say Abjema, I can't say. Oh, I forgot to consensus organizer for say, or Close a Bibisa, a proposed side, or can be what say. Honestly. At 35, I go me say, more me 30 so. The cat was starting multimedia 5 years ago, staff here 3 years ago. So the first time I got a full staff contract, me analysis, I'm in full beach, and the was just about 3 years ago. I was in my 27, 28. So realistically, based on how our election is, how can a person even mobilize? Enough of what you're saying. Me now for me new money, BBC saying 50,000, me na be 50,000 money. You see, that's the analysis to me at